from the jungle, up in the trees. I got a few tricks up in the sleeve. One wrong move, I'ma let out the big shoes, check out the crease. Blow like I'm Bigfoot, step on the beat. Make a man's run till he step out the crease. When the whole place scream, gotta get out the.
I'm loving the iQFOiL. It's everything new, more speed, more adrenaline. Like my favorite thing is the speed. You can go very fast and the adrenaline of being close to everyone.
We have a second day of great racing, super fast, super dynamic, so I think everyone is happy. The wind is quite shifty, but it's super strong. It's gusty in the same time. Well, we are preparing for mostly one direction, so it's just, you know, about reading the wind in the correct way and being super fast. I've never windsurfed before on 1,800 meters above the sea surface, so it's super nice around the mountains.
Welcome back to the Vanora England World Cup by Dakine, and we are back in action this afternoon with the iQFOiL Worlds, joined once again with my co-pilot here, Antonio Cozzolino. Mr. Cozzolino, how is the wind on the course?
Well, we're hearing reports we have 20 knots. So pretty good, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty good. So unfortunately for the slalom fans out there, 20 knot means we're going to do course racing because basically under 12 knots roughly, 10, under 10 it's slalom, over 10 is course racing, and we're going to start with the women's fleet. If you've been following the action this week, you will know there is one standout absolutely dominating the field, and here's Helena Noisman, absolutely killing it. You just look at her list of results and there's all yellows on there. That means she's won a lot of races. Yes, she's sitting on, well, the results I've got, 10 points. Her closest rival, which is Watson from Scotland, is on 34 points. And then we got another great British sailor in third place, Saskia Sills, on 43 points. But it's pretty close in that third place with Rishef from Israel, actually both on 43 points. And it's very important, those top four places are where you want to be after qualification, because that guarantees you top two in the final and second two in the semi-finals. Then the next sort of benchmark is top 12. So I go down to 12th place. We've got Lena Erdl. After a good run in the slalom, she has moved up into 12th place, but very, very close. We've got Imogen Sills, a sister of Saskia, right behind her, and then we got Pianazara, I think, and Peleg, Vinikus. They're all snapping at the heels trying to get in that top 12, so it's going to be some big tight racing today. So as we do, we're already in sequence for the women's fleet. You can see on the screens in front of you a big group at the port end, big group at the starboard end. We are going to see some seat of your pants start styling here. I mean, it is scary, isn't it?
Absolutely, and that's, if you haven't watched, if this is the first day you're checking in, we've seen that all week. Big groups at the pin, big groups at the boat, carnage in the middle.
Yeah, and if you're not used to racing, the girls down this end of the line on starboard tack, right hand at the front, have right of way. But as we've seen all week, when there's a hardcore group at the port end, it's very, very difficult, especially on the foils. You can imagine how dangerous this is. So this is, Olympic windsurfing now is an extreme sport, no doubt about it. We've seen some big crashes this week. Let's hopefully we don't see one there. We can see Germany 33 up at this end. That is actually Lena Erdl. We just talked about her. It looks quite an even line on the screen. We'll have to wait for the crossover. Got a couple of the Japanese riders up this end pumping through. Like I say, Lena Erdl in the middle. We've got a great British rider. It looks very even. Maybe a little bit port tack bias right at the end. Some of the girls right at the pin end are going to do a port flyer, obviously crossing everyone. It's close though, isn't it? Look at that. Oh, we're going to see the leaders though, I think, coming out of that port end. I see Donowska from Poland just crossing over. Poland 7, I think it is. But great to see course racing, I think, back where it belongs. High speed course racing action.
Ben, you know what I've noticed is missing from these broadcasts? Water sound effect.
Water sound effects.
Yeah, and from the board, you know?
We'll have to do our own.
Yeah.
I think that's how it is. So who are we looking out for today? What the plan? Like I said, top 12. That is what everyone is heading for because this is the penultimate day of racing. The finals are tomorrow. So at the end of today, if you're not in the top 12, that will be the position you finish for this competition. So 13th place will finish 13th. 12th might not finish 12th. They will have a chance of still winning the event. If you've been listening all week, you'll know why, because it's a knockout kind of format. Top 2 into the final, 3rd and 4th into the semi-final. The rest will have a playoff with the top 4 advancing to the semi-finals to join 3rd and 4th place. So that will have 6 riders in that semi-final. Is that right? Or 8? 8. Okay, so 6 riders going through to join the semi-finalists, and then the top 2 from that semi-final will go to the final. So you could finish 12th place, have a killer quarterfinals, get into the semi, then have a killer semi-final, win the final, you could still win the event. So it is massive. The difference between 12th and 13th is huge. Plus, you imagine your 12th place rider, you'll go into that it's a knockout format with nothing to lose.
Absolutely.
You will be letting it all hang out, throwing caution to the wind, literally, in a bid to try and get up that into at least the semi-finals, and then who knows from there on in. This is Watson, I think it is, looking like she's had a very good first upwind. We don't exactly know what it is, but great shots from the boat here. This is absolutely beautiful. She's been going so well this week, really consistent, obviously sitting in 2nd place overall, and her teammate Saskia Sills in 3rd place at the moment. So they'll want to cement this position. Looking at her results, she hasn't got many throwaway results there. They've all been very, very consistent. 2s, 3s and 1s pretty much most of the week.
Yeah. The problem is though, Ben, Helena's just been getting first all week.
Yeah, that is the problem. But in this format, doesn't make any difference between 1st and 2nd.
That's right.
You will both go into that final. So that's what she'll be concentrating on today. Needs to cement that 2nd place. Saskia Sills behind her, Risha from Israel as well. They will be trying to claw some points back on Watson, because that is the maybe achievable. Helena Noisman, well, we can't say it just yet, but maybe we can. I mean, she's got so many firsts on the board. It would be, she would need an absolute nightmare to not make it. In fact, I don't think she can. I've just seen she got redressed for the race that didn't look quite so good. First, 2nd, 1.1, first, 2nd, first. I mean, dominant, absolute.
I mean, it actually looks like those top 4 are pretty cemented. You know, between 4th and 5th, you know, we're looking at 22 points. So unless anything outrageous happens in the next 2, they look like they'll go through the semis and finals automatically.
Okay, so just before we get to this windward mark and we start telling you who is where, just going to round out who's in the top 12 at the moment. We got Sorin from France, we got Dodanowska from Poland, we got La Madrid from Spain, Cargo from Croatia, Cousin Kestel obviously from France, Opendal Norway, and Kator from Israel, and Lena Erdl in 12th place at the moment. That's your top 12, obviously counting Helena Noisman, Watson and Saskia Sills in that top 3. And we should be coming into that windward mark now, so hopefully we can try and count them round. Hopefully we've got some information from the windward mark, or we can get to that. Okay, we're not gonna, okay, well, I would hazard a guess. Just trying to pick out. We're getting no info from the top mark.
So we will shortly see.
Okay, so we're pretty blind right now on the course. Japanese rider up there, so obviously that starboard tack start. Maybe
so she started at the boat from memory.
Yeah, starboard tack. I remember seeing. We've got the couple of great British flags up there. We've got Prada, I think, from Brazil in the mix. This is not the leading pack, remember though. We do have 3 riders ahead of this chasing pack. We're still waiting to get confirmation of who is in that top 3. We'd expect Noisman to be in there.
Marathon, so now they have enough energies to go.
We've got 400, GBR 400, that's Gibson.
But at the moment, we
So
have
Gibson
the
is in that
race
chasing
racing.
pack. We'd expect Isla Watson to be up there sailing good all week. We saw a good shot of her on the upwind. We just need some confirmation. Look at that beautiful shot of the girls heading down this first downwind, race number 13. Just trying to spot out a few sailors. See Gibson going really well. She's got a bit quicker during the week, actually, Gibson. I've seen her name being mentioned a few times in the latter couple of races.
I mean,
And there we
Alicia
go. There's a
Gibson.
better shot. We can see some sail numbers there. So it is Helena Noisman. It is Madrid, La Madrid, I think, from Spain. And it is Isla Watson. So that top three, we've been hearing those names all week. Not really a surprise, Antonio.
No, not at all. And just going back to Alicia, she's been improving through the week. She hasn't spent that much time on this equipment because she was, of course, Emma's training partner for the Olympic Games. So she's just stepped onto the gear. So you can expect her to improve.
So that makes a big difference, and like we've seen that, like I've just said, seen her getting better through the week, but that now makes sense. So Noisman is going to go around the bottom mark in first place. Just absolutely in dominant form again this year. So Noisman round in first. Then we've got La Madrid, I think it is, in second place. Then Watson, the Scottish rider from up in Aviemore. Then we've got Gibson, I think. No, it's not. I think that's
It'll be Saskia.
Stills. Imogen Sills has been going well, so we've got to keep our eye out for her. Prada, I think it is, from Brazil.
The winner of the showings that we had this morning.
And we've got a few girls going around the other way as Danowska from Poland comes through. Gibson from the UK, France 18. And then that might be Imogen Sills. It's, I'll tell you what, it's thick and fast right at that bottom mark. GBR 248 coming through. There's a lot of GBRs in there. Tell you what, the British team have definitely been putting in the work over the winter. They have having a hell of a competition here in Switzerland for the Vanora ENGADINWIND by Dakine. But there's no stopping this woman at the front from France, Helena Noisman. Great shot to the leading pack. Is she going to want that boat in front of her? Probably not. Although she can try and ride the wake in. Nice tack from Noisman. We have heard from the other girls, women out there, she's quick. Noisman has got a bit of extra punch. I also hear from the British boys, Luke van Opsealand in the men's fleet is quick. He's been making some mistakes according to them, but he is quick. And if he's been making mistakes and he's at the top, you know how quick he's going.
I mean, that's the luxury you have, right, when you've got all the speed.
Yeah, interesting to hear that, actually, when I spoke to the Brits earlier. And then I heard actually from the other boys that the Brits are just not making mistakes. Very polished performances so far, but we are with the women's fleet at the moment. We'll have the gold fleet next, so you can get yourself ready for that.
Great, so thanks to us and congratulations again for today's race.
Yeah, so just to give you an idea of the speed these guys and girls are going, they did a speed competition actually on one of the lighter wind days. Imagine the lighter wind days. Nicholas Goya got up to 32.5 knots. So if you divide that by 2, that's meters per second. Gives you a pretty good idea of how quick they're going. It's quick. The women's top speed's 29. Yeah, 29. So that was, I think, Helena Noisman.
It was
29. Yeah. So there you go. 3 knots the difference, and that was in the lighter wind. So if they're travelling quicker than that now, you can only think that is absolutely rapid.
So upwind, they're probably doing about 17, 18 knots.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously upwind a little bit slower, but probably a bit more relaxed, the upwind.
Yeah, absolutely.
The downwind is, you just look at the terror in some of their faces. It's on the edge type stuff. Okay, so Noisman looking in control of this race so far. Heading to the second upwind mark, so it's just one more time round this course. and she'll be putting another 1 point on her score. She's been hogging the first places this week.
Yeah, she really has. I mean, at this point, she could also actually not race anymore, and I think still qualify first.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, other winners this week, Hella Oppendahl, Sorin from France as well, 2 first places in there.
And then
that was the slalom, okay,
Yeah.
Saskia Sills as well,
and
yeah.
Saskia
Okay.
Sills, and that's it, because Helene's won all the other races.
There she go, and she looks like she's going to win another one. Already going round the top mark and looking in really good form. Helena Noisman from France looks unstoppable right now, but we do know in this system it's not over until that last race. She is still going to need to put it all together in that last super final. Now, the old school racers, yacht sailors amongst us might disagree with the new format, but it's definitely exciting. And there we go. It looks like La Madrid from Spain is round the top mark again, and then we've got Watson, I think, going to be coming through in 3rd place.
And then 4th is Saskia Sills, just behind her, we've heard from the top mark.
So yeah, Brits are really keeping it together. La Madrid, to give you an idea, is sitting in 7th place overall, but she's 40 points back from the 2 Brits. So Isla Watson, Saskia Sills doing what they need to do, but Saskia Sills wants the 2nd place. Don't you let the teammates fool you. That 2nd place is very important, because that means straight to the final. But with Isla Watson in 2nd place at the moment, she is not going to be gaining any points on her British teammate.
And I also want to remember that tonight we have at 9 o'clock we have the presentation of the Fixed project.
I tell you what, where it will be. When we've got GPS tracking at future events, the big racing movements here is that 12th place. I know we saw in the Olympics when the scores were updating as they were crossing the line or as they were actually going around the race course. I mean, that is this sort of made for this type of format. That 12th place we will be seeing changing all the time, and will be super exciting and make those kind of almost minor places to us watching, but you know, they're not minor places.
Absolutely.
This is a fleet of 70 strong world-class women. You know, if you are in the top 10 here, you have put some work in. You don't get here by accident, there's no doubt about it. Just look at the PWA riders. You know, they've got some work to do here.
So I'd say there's 3 girls battling it out right now for that 12th spot, which is Lena Erdl, Imogen Sills and Manon Pianza.
Yeah.
And Pianza there is doing actually really well. I think she's 4th at the moment, so it's going to be tight.
Yeah, well, here we go. Just having a look. There he is. There she is, I should say. Noisman. She's already claiming. I can see Watson with that trademark green helmet. So Helena Noisman adds another 1st place. Who are in the other places? That's what we want to see as well, because we're so used to her winning now. I won't say it's boring, but she is just so dominant. It's almost a foregone conclusion right now. So who is in the other places? Can we try and pick up some of the other riders? Looks like it's La Madrid in 2nd place. Good race result from her. That's going to help cement her position in that top 12. Maybe edge her closer to the top 4.
And Watson coming in now in 3rd as we look to our left in the commentary booth.
Yeah. Oh no! No! She's had an absolute disaster. Watson has gone down right before the line. Saskia Sills comes through. I think we're going to see France come through. Oh, Watson, is it going to make a difference? It will do, because Saskia Sills has just gained a couple of points on Watson.
2 points.
Will those points come back to haunt her at the end? Well, we don't know yet, but
So she went down literally 2 board lengths before the finish. I mean, the tip of her sail nearly crossed the finish line as she went down.
Oh, mate, I didn't quite see what's happened. We've got the French going over now, Croatian. Gibson just going through. I think Imogen Sills. We've got Italy 1.
Yeah, Georgia Speciale.
Missed a big chunk of girls out there. Prada, more Brits. Not in that order. Lena Erdl, just to give you an idea, just coming over. She needs that top 12. It's going to be exciting racing. There is such big swings in the positions here. You know, you don't get a good start, or you take a wrong shift up the beat, or make a mistake, maybe misjudge a ley line, you are going to pay the price. Wind conditions at the moment, I'd say we've got up to 20 knots. I mean, it is at altitude 20 knots, so maybe not as strong as your typical silt 20 knots or something like, you know, Britain in the winter 20 knots, but it's breezy. Full white capping.
Yeah, we were getting reports from the top mark of 20 knots earlier, so
okay,
sitting around that level.
So, exciting stuff, I've got to say. That women's fleet is going to come down. How many races are planned for today? Do we know?
Two for the women, 2 for the men, as far as
That's
I understand.
it? Yeah. Okay, so we should be able to maybe after the next race work out some places. Maybe the top is not going to change. She probably can have a little rest now if she wanted to. And next up, we've got the men's gold fleet as the women are still coming over the line with the minor places. I say minor places, well, yeah, down towards the back end of the fleet now. They were quite bunched up. In one reach, you could probably put most of the fleet in that middle section. It was very tightly contested. Got Paul Van Bellen tuned in, says, can't believe there's some random windsurfers just sailing through the races. It's a busy lake right now, I gotta say.
And you've actually got all the men out here tuning up as well, so they're adding to the mayhem.
Yeah, it does look kind of carnage as we've got, like I say, the latter end of this fleet going through. Right, let's have a look. Men's fleet. I'm not sure if the results have been updated totally, but I'm going to give a quick refresh. See if we can squeak out another. I don't think they're totally updated.
No, so we're one race behind on the official results online. Because
okay, the results we've got at the moment, Nicholas Goya is leading, and I think he did do well in his last slalom race if we are missing one. So I would say Nicholas Goya is leading this competition so far. Luke van Opsealand sitting in second place on the results we've got. Matthew Barton.
So we heard he was OCS.
He had an OCS in the last race, so he might actually drop down a little bit.
But his current drop is an 8th, which means he's only going to add 8 points.
He's got a good discard,
so he should stay in 3rd after that race.
He could definitely challenge Luke van Opsealand.
Well, it depends how Luke goes.
It depends on the it depends on the
because we're probably going to see Luke start at the boat on port, hit the right-hand ley line.
In fact, I think we're going to see. Yeah, he's been doing it all week. He's got some good speed. Yeah, it's a shame these results are not totally updated yet because it's very hard to make some predictions because obviously if you don't know and you've not been tuning in, the guys did slalom this morning, so it did make a difference to the results. I saw Matthias Isaac getting in some pretty solid results today. Yeah, they're definitely not all in because he's got a second down here, and I think he won the last one.
And Matteo Aquino also won a race.
Won at least one, and he was right up there in the maybe even won 2. I don't know. Kurdle, I think, won his last slalom.
Right.
So you know, Maciej Rakowski, I think, was up there in his last slalom. There was a couple of guys who will be moving up. So yeah, very hard to make predictions, but interestingly, top 2, like I say, Nicholas Goya, Luke van Opsealand, 1 and 2 at the moment. Matthew Barton from the UK, Hugh Jan Tak from the Netherlands, Bourgeois, from France in 5th place, Kurdle 6th. Andy Brown dropped back after we saw those that stuff happened yesterday. He has been given redress. The problem is his redress is counted in 80th place, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he didn't finish so if he'd just finished that race, would have made a massive difference.
Would have made a huge difference, yeah, absolutely. He was very unlucky.
Yeah, he'll be a bit stressed today. Needs to put some good results together, Andy Brown, with those couple of results hanging over him. Who else have we got in that top 12? We've got Lewis Giard.
Yeah,
got
pretty good.
Tom Revney. Finn Hawkins is in 10th place at the moment, the young Brit. Max Kasselheim, young Dutchie as well, doing well, and then local Swiss rider Elliot Colombo, and then top.
Yeah, sorry. Well, all those sailors you just mentioned have kind of been silent assassins this week.
Yeah.
If you look at their scoreline, no colours, no bullets, ones or twos or threes, but you know they're there with the points.
Steady Eddies.
Yeah, especially Louis Giard and Tom Rovny. You know they're on 60 points. So.
Here we go. We're ready for the start now. We are about to go. Look at that line sag. Look at the guys at the pin end. Here we go. We got France 4 up this end. France 3-1. Where we got? Where's Ned 55? That's what I'm looking for. He's got a new sail number.
Yeah, because he ripped his sail yesterday, so he replaced it.
I was going to say, so Ned 55 on starboard, on port, at the starboard end, banging out that corner. But it does look like the guys on starboard are crossing the fleet. Yeah, interesting.
So remember in the women's race, we saw the starboard Japanese sailor cross the fleet and come out all right.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens here.
Look how close it is.
And that was Sam Sills on port. Crossing behind the Hong Kong sailor.
Oh, it's like just to put it into perspective, it's like running across the M1 in London or something like that. You know, like a motorway. It is not. It is scary. It is scary stuff. Yes, Jazanas there on Lithuania. We got the Brit. I'm just trying to pick out some sail numbers. 102 is it? 152? I can't quite read it. Need to get some glasses, boys. Oh, starting tight, a little bit, slowing down.
James Hatcher, 102. So
James
he's having a good one.
Looks like he's in a good position, but you know, look at those guys on port tack out there. And I think that was Ned 55. If it was Luke van Opsealand, doesn't look so good.
Nico Pre in there.
Yeah, just going underneath. We've got France 7.
That is Adrien Mestre.
Mestre, yeah. He's been going well this week, hasn't he? Again, we're still lacking one result off the result, so not easy to do.
So Adrien has had some good moments, 9.8, 9.8 at the start of the week.
Slalom hasn't gone so well.
Not so well.
Yeah, he got down the fleet a bit.
He's in 17th overall.
All to play for though, top 12 maybe in his sights. A lot of British support out there. Come on, Matt Barton, they say. Go GBR 60, which is Sam Seals. You want to show your support, get on YouTube, chuck it in the comments. We'll give your guys and girls a shout out. So this is the way it's looking up the fleet. Does look like those guys over on the left hand side might be looking pretty good. We will get obviously mark roundings when they go around this windward mark, and hopefully we've got our boat camp positioned on that reaching mark, because that was some crazy scenes we saw yesterday when we saw poor old Andy Brown breach the foil and go down hard. Ended up with a DNC in that race. Touching 20 knots of wind on the course. If you are just tuning in, this is the first ever iQFOiL World Championships, the new Olympic discipline for windsurfing.
To get some positions from the upwind mark.
So, getting close up there. If my eyes were correct, I think Luke van Opsealand has got some work to do. He can't let it slip now on the last day. He's in that guaranteed final position at the moment, which is second place.
It really depends
Look
where
how close it is.
Yeah. Depends where Matty Barton is.
Yeah. Yeah, the Brits will be supporting Matty Barton. They want him to be in the top 2 at the end of the qualification, which is ending today. We got the property athlete, Matty Barton's housemate, giving him all the support. There we go, a lot of support from home for the Brits. Go Amado, says Niles. Right, let's have a look what we've got going on at that top mark. We're getting close. We've already got one go round.
Looks French to me.
It does.
Nico
Goya.
Goya.
He's got the yellow jersey on, so it's our event leader, Nico Goya. He has definitely found form. Obviously,
we have Nicolas Goya.
Look who's in second place. Is that a Dutch flag?
Yeah, that looks like Luke.
Yeah, like I said, he's going to be struggling. Yeah, I told you my eyesight wasn't good. Luke van Opsealand. These two have
So
definitely...
Nico looks like he went a little bit further into a bit of a hole there, and Luke jibed on the inside, so he might run down over the top of him as they move towards that right-hand side into the pressure. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely saw that, but there's a few little wind shifts and stuff going on. Does make a huge difference. We know Nico Goya is no slouch on the downwind, and I think just he'll have Luke in his sights. Definitely looked like it went a bit light though. That's what the guys say, if you go too close to the sides here you can sail into holes, but you can also get massive header with a gust, which you can come out smelling the roses.
Yeah, well actually he looks like he's come out of that okay. He looked like he got a bit sticky on the jibe. But.
Yeah, these two got a little bit of a lead at the moment. Looking pretty solid. Nicholas. Where are the other two boards? Hopefully. We've got Bash saying covering jibe from Goya. I'd agree. Just doesn't want to let him go too far. He knows he's got the speed. Look at him, talking about speed. He is flying down this one. We will get some mark roundings at this bottom mark. We'll get the camera to stay on that bottom mark and call them through. So Nicholas Goya rounding first. Who's in second? It is going to be Luke van Opsealand. Then we got third place. Yeah, Huey van Tak. The Dutch have got it together, haven't they?
And then Matt Barton there.
Matt Barton is there. So the Brits will be going wild. He's looking very solid, but he needed Luke van Opsealand not to be there. We got Mestra is in there as well. A couple of people going the other way. GBR 10, is that Finn?
That's Finn Hawkins, yeah.
Finn Hawkins, yeah. We got Lecoq going round.
Or is 10 HB?
Oh yeah, you might be right. No, it's 11 or 12 is Finn. Yeah, so Henry Bloodworth, Alexander Kuzan going round, Matthias Isaac going round. I think that was 360. Andy Brown just caught out the corner of my eye. So difficult. I mean, Amado's just going round. You pick out the odd sail number. It's pretty much it, but not. I didn't really see Andy Brown there, and he needs to have a good race here. Can't afford a bad one. He's not in the front few, but we know he's quick.
We've got a fairly even split as we look out to the left of the men going half going right and the other half going left, so it must be fairly even. So
we might, well, or we might see a massive upset if we see one of those swings of the wind or a drop on one side or the other. You never know what's going to happen. There's a few of the guys that have been coming out the left in these last couple of races. We saw it with the women's fleet. Are we going to see it with the men's fleet? Are we going to see any big movers and shakers in this second upwind? Interesting. I was speaking to Maciej Rakowski last night, and he was saying, I was talking to him about the Brit sailors. Obviously I'm British, so I was just interested, and he said Matt Barton is absolutely flying. He says he's ahead of him, he's doing everything, and he just hears this noise, and he's like, oh, you are joking. No, I think it's so fun hearing all this sort of stuff. We're early days in this Olympic discipline, and we will be seeing.
We now have confirmation of our first top mark roundings, which is not super useful, but
yeah, it's pretty much what we saw. 152. That's Mestra, is it?
No, that's Tom Arnaud.
Okay, Tom Arnaud. Well, we'll definitely get. Well, I say we definitely. Hopefully, we'll get mark rounds at the top. Hopefully, we can get that first, reach mark. The camera like we had yesterday. That was a great shot to see all the riders. We got someone saying Luke just isn't into pumping. Well, when you're that fast, why pump? You don't need to. Just keep that thing going. There we go, just that top. That's Nico Goya. Like I say, 1 or 2, that's the goal. The next goal, if you're not in 1 or 2, is 3 or 4. That sounds obvious, but those places have got even more importance because it means you guarantee yourself. The top 2 will guarantee top 4 and a very good chance of medal. There we go, that's the shot we love. Nicholas Goya looking in fine form. He's got better during the week, hasn't he? We've
He
just
has.
seen him in the course racing especially.
I'm not quite sure why he seemed to struggle on the first few days.
I imagine he has been racing his own equipment. He's obviously on Phantom stuff on the PWA. It's been, maybe it took him a little bit of time to switch over. So we've just lost contact with that boat cam.
There's a beautiful tack there by what looks like Sam Sills, is it? 60?
Yeah, I think so. Difficult to see, but that is Luke van Opsealand, is it? Or Hugh? No, this is Jan Tak. And we got Matt Barton coming through. We've got another Brit right up behind him, so someone's done some damage on that next upwind. On that last upwind. Taking their hand off, maybe just to have a rest. They've obviously been working hard. Is that Sam Sills? Yeah, red helmet. Sam Sills, who's on? It's difficult to see from this angle. We're a bit too high to see the sail numbers.
So that was Tom Arnaud before.
Got Sebastian Kördel in there, the German.
Then Louis Giard going around the mark now.
Ethan Vestra just going round. The French are so hard to pick out. There's so many of them, and they're all good. Matthias Isaac from Brazil, Colombo from Switzerland, just on your picture. Yeah, so it is Sam Sills having a good race. He is coming back to that top 12. He's had some good slalom races. Just look out for Sam Sills. He missed out last year. He was the one rider that missed out, 11th. I think it was top 10 last year, or top 12. He was 13th.
He was 13th,
whatever
yeah.
it was, he was the rider that missed out. He's very close up this year. He's right on the cusp again. But out in front, well, it's not this man, but he's obviously right up there. This is Luke van Opsealand. Had to change his sail after breaking a mast yesterday, and I think ripping the luff tube. So he's had to borrow a sail. I think this might be Kördl's sail, the German. But Nicholas Goya is already round, or is he? No? Yes, he's already round. He's already coming down the breeze. He's right out in front of us. I just needed to open my eyes. So Nico Goya has just come round and he's crossing the finish line now. So congratulations to Nicholas Goya. Another race win for him. Hugh van Tak in third place. Just ahead of him is Luke van Opsealand, and just going around that bottom mark is Matty Barton. Very consistent today and all week, to be honest.
And second, Luke van Opsealand.
Luke Opsealand, solid as a rock from the big Dutchman.
Third place,
The Dutch are going well.
Jan Tak.
Jan Tak in third place. Ooh, he did a drive. Look how close it is. I just looked up at the TV screen. I was looking, sorry, it's very close. After that, we've got Matt Barton crossing the line in fourth place. Fifth place, we've got Tom Arnaud, is it?
That's right.
Tom Arnaud. Then we've got
Adrian
Frank
Mestre,
Mestre just behind him. Then we've got Sam Seals, that'll do well. Then we've got
Lecoq.
Lecoq. Then we've got, it looks like HB, is it?
Yep, that's right.
Henry Bloodworth. Then we've got Kördl, Sebastian Kördl, the German. Then we've got Maciej Rakowski.
And Louis Giard just behind Maciej.
Ligier. Then we've got Ethan Vestra. France 53.
Clément Bourgeois, your favourite.
Bourgeois. And then we've got Alexander Cousin. Then we've got Andy Brown, a little bit deeper than he would have wanted to be, but not as deep as he could have been if he'd have been 10 metres back, because behind him it's so close. Oh, Amado's in there, Matthias Isaac's in there, Colombo's in there. Oh, it was super tight behind him. That just goes to show 10 metres, you know, a little bit of pumping or a little bit of a bad tack or a good tack can make all the difference in a close fleet like this. I'm not even going to attempt to read all those sail numbers. They are coming thick and fast right now.
You know, we haven't seen much of Alex Cousin this week, have we?
He's been there and thereabouts every so often. In the slalom, I see him quite a bit. Okay, so we're just having a quick little refresh around. Whoa! Such close racing. Got Timothy Bateman going, loving the action from Australia. Max, where in Australia? I'm in Brisbane. No, in the chat. I don't think we need to read that out. We've got Paul Van Bellen over in Townsville. Oh, the Aussies, it must be a good time for them. It's either late or night and they're cracking open the beverages, or it's early in the morning having breakfast.
11 in the evening, I think.
There we
it is
go,
in
I knew
Australia
it.
at the moment.
I knew it. We've got Benjamin in Brittany saying Nico is too fast. And we got Max saying, do you think they'll make the races longer, like 3 or 4 laps? No, I don't think, because you don't see that much after 2 laps. I think 2 laps is good. We get a result, you get to go again, because you've got to remember the consequences of getting a bad result. If you make it 8 laps, once you've got a bad start, you've had a crash, it would be, the consequence would be probably too much. So what they want to do is get a lot of races in, keep them running, and get the overall best sailor. So the qualification is the top 12 by doing lots of races, and then it gets pretty loose, and then it's the real, the stuff that will decide the medals.
And also not that much changes after the first lap. As we've seen, usually the top 5 stay the top 5 at the bottom, top and finish.
And the good guys, if they're down, they can get back up, and they have to work for it, kind of thing. So yeah, the idea with the qualification is to make it as fair as possible, and then the medal type race is to make it fair but also exciting. So the best person should win. They're given chances because two of the guys are in the final already, but there is a chance. There is a chance they could get beaten. I'm going to say, I'm sure that format will divide the audience from the old school racers. They'll be like, no, maybe the new school, or maybe the non-windsurfers or non-racers might like it. It's always interesting to hear everyone's thoughts, but
well, we have to keep it modern. We have to keep it up to date.
Yeah.
And it's sailing's not really been traditionally something that has had huge viewership, and so we need to do things to balance out fairness to the sailors, but also make it interesting to watch.
Yeah. Trying to tick a few boxes, which I like the format. I've got to be honest. I think this format this year definitely ticks more boxes than last year. I think it's fairer for the guys that have been forming all week. And it also gets that excitement going, and there is that outside chance. Well, we'll soon find out tomorrow, I guess.
We'll soon find out. I mean, it would be a travesty if Helene didn't win this event, wouldn't it?
It would, but that's why sport is sport.
Yeah.
That is what you see with, I keep saying it, and maybe Usain Bolt is the worst example ever, but he's meant to win. He's won everything. He's the fastest guy in the world, but he still could lose.
That's true, but every time you mention that, I also say yes. But the 100-metre sprinting track, lane 1 doesn't immediately become uphill,
the BMXing.
and lane 3 doesn't become downhill,
One of my favourite sports in the Olympics was watching the BMXing, and that is exactly what we're talking about here. You qualify a week, you make the final. You can get taken out the first corner, you don't get anything. And that got some serious viewage. Well, in England it did, because we had some medals.
Now look at
Here we go.
Already preempt the carnage. Look at that huge group at the pin down there.
So this is women's racing back on.
Where would you want to be?
This is the last race?
For the day, yes.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know.
I don't know. I think I'd like to be closest to the pin end.
Well, what you can't see here is that boat end mark is actually really close to the shore, so you don't have much run up.
Ooh. Oh, somebody's over there. It's Spain 3, 4, 5, unless this screen is a little bit.
It's a 1 second delay, I think, but that looks pretty close.
That looks good though, doesn't it? That looks a very good angle. Yeah. Looks a very good angle from our TV here. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they're crossing. It's pretty even Stevens, to be fair. The starboard tack girls are crossing in front though, but they've got to put another tack in, so it's very even. That is. No collisions. That's what we like to see. I'm sure there was a couple of over earlies. Well, I'm not sure, but it did look that way. Boy, a few dips. Oh dear, scary stuff. Big luff tubes on those sails. Not easy to read how close you are to the other riders. Dave Bell says it's 11:42. Too late for beverages. Whatever. What day is it? Saturday night? Come on, man. You've changed, Belly.
Saturday night.
He's changed.
Although they're on lockdown, aren't they, Australia?
I don't know, but look at that. That just looks epic racing. Absolutely perfect winds for upwind, downwind course racing. Up to 20 knots up here in the mountains at Lake Silverplana. I mean, it's delivered the goods this week, hasn't it? A couple of
Absolutely.
early sort of lay days, get everyone relaxed, and then boom,
2 lay days before the start of the competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
and then smashing it out. It's, really
So
good
earlier
to
I saw
see.
Helena out sailing out towards the right. We caught her in the corner of our screen, so can't quite see her come out yet.
Yeah, she's going to do a Luke Van Opsealand. Yeah, he's got no chance, and then boom, right at the front.
Got a kite surfer wanting to try his luck with the fleet on the left-hand side.
He's trying to take out our drone again.
Yeah.
We really have one race after the other on the water, and I just got information that we're going to see another.
Paul Van Bellen, obviously a keen drone pilot. Nothing worse than kites when you fly the drone.
I will let you know.
Yeah, you don't see them coming, so just expect it. We got La Madrid there from Spain, heading up, looking good. Look at that. Does look fun actually, I've got to say. Watching this racing is making me want to race. Seeing Cribby up there in the long distance race as well.
We didn't tell the viewers that there was a long distance.
We had a long distance race. It's the oldest race, they tell me, in the world. Oldest windsurfing race in the world.
Wow.
I've heard that a few places, but they definitely say it here, and they're Swiss, so they're good with their timing. But yeah, I saw a great race earlier. Cribby was right up there, and then we saw James Farley trying his luck in there.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure it was James Farley.
I didn't
I'd have
see
to
the
check,
finish.
but he went he did a 1 lap too early, went over the finish line. And then we had the local Swiss crew, first and second, I think, in the end. I'd have to check the sources on that though. Bruce Spedding said it's 1:45 in New Zealand. Should be in bed, mate. Staying up. So there we go. There's our lone drone pilot.
Nothing better than falling asleep to the sound of Ben Proffitt.
I actually met one of the wives of a guy who follows me quite a lot, and she gave me the look like, I hate that voice.
Well, I think they literally told you that they hate that voice.
I had to look first. I thought, what's she looking at? As she was sussing me out. She's like, I know that voice. I go to bed at it. I wake up to it. Turn it off, please. Sorry for all the girlfriends, husbands, wives, whoever.
So we're looking here at Saskia Sills, who looks to be on the lay line, top mark.
Well, that'll be a hell of a lay line if she's made that. You'd expect her to be maybe first round with that lay line.
One of the really interesting things with the foil is when you start pumping, you actually get quite a lot more height.
Yeah.
5 degrees or so, which is actually
She's nailed it.
quite significant.
She has absolutely nailed that lay line. So we might be seeing, she wants that second place, doesn't she? She wants that second place. She knows second place will guarantee a top 4 result and give her a very good chance of a medal. And she is round.
And so let's not forget that's not inconsequential for most of these sailors, because for most countries, a top 10 finish here will guarantee their funding for at least the next year or 2.
Yeah.
And that includes the Brits here.
Yeah, definitely. There we
So
go.
we've got Helene goes around the top mark first, followed by Isla Watson in second.
No, I've got Saskia Sills, is it? 556? Because that's Helena Noisman in second place. Third place looks like Watson. Oh, it's difficult to see, that's a different helmet. Oh no, they're all really close. Oh, it's so difficult, there's so many sail numbers to remember.
So we do have our top 5 were Saskia Sills in first, second was Helene,
Okay.
third was Isla Watson, fourth was Pilar La Madrid, and fifth was Israel 351, which is that Reshef?
Yeah, that's what they didn't want for the girls. You know, at the top, they're all like, it's all where who finishes who, but just look how close it is. You can just imagine, I keep saying it, but look at 50 meters, how many places it gets you. It comes down to such small margins, this Olympic racing. It's hard to even comprehend, I think, how close this racing is. 70 women in the fleet, and it's all just so close. But it's not close at the top. Noisman has been destroying the field, but not at the moment in this one. We've seen her in this position before, and she does usually pull it back, but Saskia Sills has got the bit between her teeth now, and she wants to get a race win. I'm sure of it.
She'll really be closing in on Isla Watson there, so there's a battle there, and an internal one in the British team.
And that, like we just said, that crash at the end from Watson, could it cost her that all-important second place? We will only know when we get the final results in, so we've still got a way to go in this race. Not all over yet. Yeah, Saskia Sills is 9.56 to give you an idea. 5.61 is her sister. There we go, but look at Noisman. Did you see that? Jibing inside. I'm pretty sure I just saw at the bottom of that drone a French flag jibing inside, and it is Helena Noisman. She's done the downwind, and she's going to go around the bottom mark in first place. Saskia Sills from Great Britain in second.
So it must be pretty clear from that.
Watson, La Madrid, sorry, I'm just going to call him round. We've got Lena Erdl in there.
Pretty clear from that downwind that Helena probably has some serious speed, because the gap she had behind Saskia was quite large.
It was decent, wasn't it? It was decent. So we've got Mexico going round. We've got Cargo, I think it is, from Croatia. 248, is that Reed? I've got to get my sail numbers. There's Cousin Kestel and Mary Mortefon, the two PWA riders, just going round now. Paul Van Bellen says he wishes he has a girlfriend.
Don't we all? So as you can look down the course, very streaky still. So we've got 20 knots, but you quite clearly see darker patches and lighter patches.
Yeah, it's such a good angle. The drone just makes everything well clear. I'd love to have at some point just this one high drone or a blimp or whatever they call it, where it just sits really, really high, and you don't see anyone. You just see the majority of the fleet, you know, where they're going, and I think it would be epic. But at the moment, this is epic stuff.
So we saw Helene just there in her attack. She tacked in a lighter patch, kind of the board touched down and really got stuck on the water. It took her quite a while to get properly foiling again.
There's some holes, isn't there? There's some holes, and you know, people think, oh, Noisman, she's just cruising. She's pumping. She is not stopping. She's won nearly every race, and that's not enough. You know, she wants another win. She is not settling for second. Yeah, that's it. Israel, is that Rashif?
That's right.
She's been having a good week. She wants that top 4 place. It's all about the top 4 places. First and second, third and fourth.
So like we said earlier though, she's pretty clear of the next sailor behind her, which is Lola Sorin. So she's got 22 points on her.
Okay.
So she'd have to have quite a bad one in this one to fall back into fifth, but you never know.
Yeah, but you've got to cement it, and that's what they're doing. You know, the top girls are still the top girls. Really just putting together some consistent racing. And like I said, when you see how many riders are out there, you see the starts, you see the wind shifts, you see the gusts, you see everything going on, and you've still got these consistent riders time after time right up in the mix. It's super impressive.
More races, also wir noch weitere Rennen auf dem Wasser sehen.
So we'll be closing in on that windward mark. Really cool to see actually Saskia Sills nailing that ley line. You know, you could see Noisman actually was a lot higher on the ley line, and that's probably why she didn't go around in first, I would say. Saskia made that tactical sort of early tack and just absolutely pinged it.
But just look how much she's pulled out here on the second lap. That's, I believe, Saskia Sills to the right of the screen.
She's quick. She is quick, no doubt about it. So what mark is that? That's the
reach mark, I would say.
Yeah, we're quite high. Oh, yeah, we're not going to see too many sail numbers, but it's definitely Noisman out in front.
So first place is Helena, as you stated. Second, it's a Brit. We're just getting top mark updates
Yeah,
for all
looks
in.
like Saskia Sills, and then Watson there, super close.
That's right.
As the two Brits come round, we're not going to see those other riders, but the top three, very solid. That's
And
the top three
Fourth
in the overalls.
fourth is Pilar Madrid and Reshef from Israel in fifth.
There we go, just coming to his first mark. So Saskia Sills still leading out of the Brits. Isla Watson from Scotland and
Jives on
jives
the
early.
inside.
Going for it. Going for it. Interesting. And it looks a little bit light down this other side. I think this is Lena Erdl and Cargo. Then we've got Sarah Vinicus from Holland.
So we might see a pass there from Isla on Saskia Sills.
Got Gibson from Great Britain just coming round on this downwind mark, or the top mark, sorry. France 31. You've got a whole heap of them. I think Cousin Kestel's in that mix as well.
Who's your money on between the two British girls for that downwind?
Well, Watson doesn't want to
Come
kind
on,
of
you're
rest.
going to decide quick because the image is going
I'm-
to change, so you need to call it now.
I'm going to go Saskia Sills.
Ah, I was going to pick Saskia. All right, well I'll take Isla. Let's
She's
go.
got that inside line. We
Yeah.
saw that.
Okay, winner
in the previous
buys
one.
the coffee after this.
Okay.
All right.
Look how hectic it is. I'm going to keep saying it, but it is so hectic at that top mark. Super close racing. So this is
Who have we got?
Watson.
Who have we got?
I guess it's Watson because she was the first to jibe on that outside. Although
That
I'm not
looks
sure.
like
No, it doesn't.
Saskia. Looks like Saskia,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
Watson actually looks like she's pumping.
Oh, she is.
Watson is going to get this. If I had to make a call right now,
You cannot make a call
I said,
right now.
yeah, I'm
no.
on-
You had to make the call earlier. That's why I asked you before we went to the
Okay,
image.
I just said, looks like Watson.
Okay,
might
it's
have
going to be
done enough.
close. This is good. This is good.
I might be wrong here because it looks like Watson has got that inside line. Not all over though, but it might be for this woman.
Yeah.
Noisman is going to put another 1 point on her scoreboard. Just dominant, absolutely dominant form.
Here we go, here
there's
we
that
go.
close race for second and third. Let's stay on that second and third because that's where the real fight is. It's Watson, I think, that went round in first out of the two Brits. Noisman is definitely going to win it, but we're not going to see that fight. Noisman has definitely got another victory, but we're definitely looking at that fight for second place. It looks like Watson is leading, just to give you guys at home a bit of an idea, but great race, another great race I should say for Watson gets a bit of a wobble.
She did that exactly the same in the last race.
she
Here we
did
go.
exactly. So Watson,
All right, well, I'll have a flat white, please.
good score.
And blueberry pie.
Yeah, Watson gets it. Saskia Sills. Then we've got Reshef. Then we've got
Lena Erdl.
La Madrid. Then we've got Lena Erdl. Then we've got Cargo. And we've got the Mexican rider, actually. I need to learn that. Was that Prada? No, Prada was from Brazil.
See that the men already are very excited.
That is Mariana. I'm not even going to try. Triple barreled last name.
So the ladies
We're going to have to find an acronym.
just finishing
Yeah.
their race.
Wow, such close races. You can just see the girls coming over the line now. France 18, Hong
That's
Kong
Lucy
3.
Belbiok, which is back on the water today after having missed a few days of racing.
Where's Danovska? She's just coming over now. We got Marion Mortafon. Yeah, there's a few people maybe not right up there in these races at the moment. We're going to be seeing some movers and shakers in that overall
And then
leaderboard.
Giorgia Speciale from Italy, which is doing quite well because she, I would say, is the smallest sailor in the fleet up here.
Julian Jansen. Ben, what about an idiot's guide to iQFOiL? Don't you worry, my son, it is coming. I haven't been on one yet, but that will be a video, I can tell you now. We just wanted to get the World Championships out the way, get the hype up, and then I'm going to go take it, see where we go with it. The guys' gold fleet is up next. Are we covering it?
I hope so.
I really hope so. Can we?
It'll take 15 minutes. Let's try and
Please,
we'll see.
pretty please. Can we?
Pray to the powers that be.
The ladies' suite is completing the race, and
Hey, yay! So as good news is we're going to cover one more race.
Excellent.
You lucky people, we've got the gold fleet for the men coming up. So good to hear that. You can see just sail numbers there. France 752 is Alexander Cousin. Actually, I think he had a crash the other day. Maybe
Yeah, I was checking the results earlier.
I
He
spoke
had
to,
a retired.
Shahar.
Okay.
and he said he retired because
He did.
he had a big port starboard. He basically had to choose who he was going to hit.
Right.
If he'd have dipped, he'd have hit someone. If he'd have gone up, he hit someone, and he didn't really have
So
any choice.
he had a back-to-back black flag and a retirement. So that's why we actually haven't seen him at the front of the results, because, wow, big numbers.
Yeah. So just a couple of questions coming in. Snag Stack, is there a UK iQFOiL race scene? There will be. I'm pretty sure.
I'm fairly sure there already is.
Well, there's some good guys, I can tell you that. They're all here.
Well, yeah, but I think they recently had a national event in Cornwall somewhere. So, yeah, it already exists. I think there's quite a large fleet. I'd say 50 odd from what I understand, IQs.
Yeah. It'll definitely happen, no doubt about it.
If you head down to Weymouth, you'll definitely catch some. So,
yeah, early days in this a new Olympic discipline. You know, it's been around obviously for a couple of years now, but it's now becoming more mainstream. Now the RSX, the Olympics is gone. Focus will be on iQFOiL. You're going to see a lot of it around. You know, and I've heard good reasons for buying it. If you're into up-down racing, especially, the gear doesn't get outdated.
that's right.
So in that sense, it's quite interesting.
I mean, one of the best things I find about the IQ is it's just really, really easy to use.
Yeah.
So even if you're trying to go cruising through your local islands or whatever, it's good kit.
Yeah, so there you go. Maybe there'll be a demo centre one day. I'm not sure you'd want to just randomly rock up and jump on, but who knows? What have we got? Let's have a look through the comments on YouTube. It's actually just thinking of that last reach from Watson. Another wobble at the same
Yeah, she's
point.
done it twice. I mean, it could just be that she's pushing the edge of the envelope,
Yeah.
and you know, that's what happens.
Yeah. So maybe talk. Oh, are we starting already? There's people moving. What's going on?
It could be that they abandoned that starting sequence
Oh, okay.
and they're maybe moving the start line. I'm not entirely sure, but it looks like
It looks like
that's normally
mass
what happens.
exodus.
Yeah, well, this is normally what happens when they do that. If people do a little tuning run again,
Yeah.
go check out the pin end, see if it's favoured.
Look how many boards there are. I mean, really good to see, actually. Just to give you an idea, because we've got Mr. Costolino here, a few people asking wind minimums, racing format, new disciplines. What is the full kind of rules? Not to detail, but you know, what's the usual format? Because
So we can probably race it in around 5 or 6 knots. Really depends on the sea state and you know if we're at altitude or at sea level. But 5 or 6 knots we try and race. Usually under 10 knots, like we said before, we try and do slalom or some sort of downwind slalom
yeah,
variation.
no upwind, basically.
No upwind, that's right. And as soon as we can start to sail upwind fairly in a bigger fleet, so from 10 knots onwards, then we race in fleets, up and downwind. So that is the general rule. You'll sometimes see us doing slalom in the wind range, which is 10 to 15. And that'll happen because we try and balance out a little bit in a 2-to-1 ratio between course racing and slalom. But it's continually evolving. This is the first year of real competition for the class, so it will be refined over the remainder of the year and the start of next year.
Yep. Also long distance race, I heard.
That's right. Long distance is also, we haven't done it here at this World Championship, but normally at every major competition, the long distance will be part of the regatta and it will count for double. So very, very important. That's usually a 1 to 2 hour race. And we try and use local landmarks to pull in some beautiful median scenery from.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we go to the same patches of water everywhere around the world, beautiful scenery, but all you see is the same blue or green square of water. So the idea there is make it a bit more fun and show something a little bit more different and represent what everyday sailors do.
I think it looks like we're lining up for a start here. It looks like a crazy one once again. A lot of guys on port tack. I would say majority of the fleet. Maybe there was just a wind shift. Is that why they all went over there in a big hurry? It definitely looks like this is... every time they start, I just hold my breath. It's like, oh, let's get ready to rumble.
Start is coming.
I mean, if you're the most windward boat, you're probably okay. You just keep pumping, you clear everyone. But stuck in the middle, nowhere to go. Oy.
Wow, look at it. It's
Well, there you go. That's the start. Ned 55. Sebastian Colonel. Just imagine trying to pick your way through that. Starboard tack, Croatia 751 is not going full speed.
No.
He's had a really big crash, I think, already this week, and he was looking very hesitant. Oh! And as I said that, was that not him?
Might have been him. That was...
Well, we just said it. I mean, and that... Oh, I don't want to even think. It's so nasty.
It's still in the water.
We're just trying to have a little quick look, make sure everyone's okay. Oh my God, just looking on the screen, just looks hectic. I'm seeing like a mini replay here.
Still in the water.
Oh, it looked like a Norwegian.
And a Frenchie, I think. I see a Frenchie uphauling.
Well, there we go. We have got started. Hopefully everyone's okay.
Looks like Louis Giard in the water.
Oh, it just looks really, really hard to... It's just hard to pick your way through. There is a little bit of luck in there.
Pretty sure that was Louis Giard, so that will be not great for his day.
Yeah. Has he got a good enough discard to use?
Let's
That's the question.
Let's have a look.
He is right up there, isn't he?
He is right up there. So...
I'll have to count at 19th.
No, yeah, he might have to count at 19th. So that will put him down into... Oof, it's going to be close.
Yeah, sure.
It's going to be very close.
Comes down to such small margins, and sometimes not even your fault.
Yeah.
Although he would have been on port tack, because I'm pretty sure it's a Norwegian coming through, but can't be sure of that. So if you are just joining us, this is the iQFOiL World Championships. First ever iQFOiL World Championships. It is the new Olympic discipline for windsurfing, and it has definitely upgraded the RSX. The trusty old girl did its job, but it outstayed its welcome a little bit too long, so kicked it.
Although kind of
into
lucky it stayed in as long as it did, so then the foil could be selected.
Yes, that is
because
good.
we might have
That is
ended
a
up.
very good point.
Yeah.
And a decent one that works. Yeah, I see that. When you say that, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Because otherwise we would have been selecting in 2015 or earlier for Rio.
We'd have ended up with some other mutant board. So there we go. You're obviously seeing a lot of Severn starboards here. This should change over the years as well. It should be a class where other manufacturers can build that exact board and in theory sail.
That's right.
I haven't seen
All
or
the
heard of any other sails, but in theory, yes. Again, we're a little way off it. We've started to see future fly boards, FMX boards, and there is talk of other ones coming. So watch this space.
It will take some time though.
I'm sure.
But the sooner the better.
Just having a quick look through the results here. We got Vanora saying, did you manage to get the drone out the tree? Yes, it was in the water actually in the end, but they did get it back. Okay, so getting towards the business end of this upwind. Who is on the ley line? Who is tacking first? Who's got the speed? There's a couple of guys that must have overlaid it, because you've got guys tacking inside and lower down. You can't see much
Someone's swimming. I think I see someone swimming after their equipment.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Oh, jeez, we didn't see that. And that is, oh, I wonder who that was. That looks like, is that France again? No, Israel.
So
Israel round in
that'll be
first.
Tom
Looks like
Rovny.
Nicholas Goya in second. Then maybe Andy Brown. A bit far away for me to tell at the moment, but that would make, we need to get that camera a little bit lower down just so we can see all the sound numbers. Who have we got? We got well, Luke's in there. We've got Israel in first. Then we've got Nicholas Goya, Luke van Opsealand. I think that's Andy Brown. Difficult to see.
So confirmation from the top mark. Tom Rovny, first rounded in first place, the Israeli. Followed by Luke van Opsealand. No, sorry, Luke was in fifth. So we've got first and fifth.
Look at that, absolutely carnage right there.
Weil it's not easy against Nicolas Goya on the downwind. Das ist nicht einfach gegen Nico Goya auf der Raumschlote, ist sehr schnell der Franzose.
So most of the major players in the mix.
Momentan als erster die Lufttonne kommt Rovny.
We didn't get a clear view of the sail numbers, but we definitely know Nicholas Goya was in there. We know Tom Rovny was in there, and obviously Luke van Opsealand. A couple of Brits in the mix. Didn't look too tall, so I'm going to go with Andy Brown, but it's a bit of a stab, really. He needs to put a good result in. That's also another reason for picking him, because he knows he needs to just, he wants to get right up there. Here we go. We're going to get a very good view as they go around this bottom mark, that is for sure. But one thing is for sure, Nicholas Goya, with that yellow jersey on, is leading the fleet once again. The French, well, not having it all their own way. In the women they are, but in the men, well, look at the speed of Nicholas Goya. 32.5 knots in wind that wasn't windy enough to race. Interesting. He's quick. He's going to go around this side of the gate. So it's going to be Goya round in first.
First, Nico Goya. Second,
Remedy from Israel, definitely in second. Right, now who are the other players?
So Luke's in third by the looks of it.
Luke van Opsealand in third.
Matty
Matty
Barton.
Barton. Then we've got Colombo right round together. Then we've got, well, Amado's in there. We've also got Hugh Van Tack, 19, which is
Finn Hawkins.
That is Finn Hawkins, yeah. And then we've got a load of others. So it wasn't Andy Brown, it was Matty Barton once again. He's going quick, that's for sure. And I think that's Sam Seals going off the other way with Sebastian Kördel. Matteo Iacchino just coming around. It's just so close, isn't it? You see Matthias Isaac there from Brazil, easy to spot.
So we have also Elia Colombo in there, der Schweizer. Elia Colombo also mit an der Spitze.
Steve Allen also just going through.
Gefolgt von dem Israeli Rovny.
Oof. So it looks like we might have had a shift actually a bit to the right here, because see, they're not quite making that point anymore that they were earlier in the day.
Und an fünfter Stelle, wie gesagt, der Schweizer Elia Colombo.
We'll see. Still going to be Nicholas Goya out in the lead, but what about the guys that went the other way? If we have had a shift, it's probably not going to favour the guys that went left if the wind stays where it is now,
well,
or if it's gradually clocking over.
And also remember, here at the lake, the wind on the right and the wind on the left have no relation to one another. So.
Yeah, okay, good point. Yeah, that is a very good point. You can have totally different wind angles not correlating with each other. You can have a lift on both sides of the lake, which sounds mad, but we are in the mountains. Well, a little bit of sun on the drone. Very beautiful. But can't quite see the sail numbers with that angle. But we know who the major players are, and they're all in the mix. I mean, we've been saying them all week, but Nicholas Goya, Luke van Opsealand, Matty Barton, Hugh Van Tack, they're all in the mix, aren't they? Just you look how big the fleet is and how competitive it is, and they are there time and time again on one design equipment. Now we all know one's on equipment can't be exactly the same. There are little tiny discrepancies and different setups you can use, but essentially it's the same equipment.
Ja, also als nächstes wird das letzte Frauenrennen sein. So the next race will be the last women's race.
So this will be the last race for us today, but they are doing another women's race we're just hearing, so we won't know the final scores. So you're going to have to keep your eye on the iQFOiL website, check the results to find out who finishes in those top 12 positions. But I won't lie, we're not getting results quick enough anyway to give you a rundown. We do know probably the top guys and girls, but those real crucial places, that 12th and 13th place, we won't know until later. And this is the Olympic stuff, so there is protests and stuff going on. So Nicholas Goya, on your screens right now, going to go around, and look how windy it is up there. Absolutely cranking. Then we've got Luke van Opsealand, we've got Tom Remney, and we've got Matty Barton all coming in together. But it's going to be Luke van Opsealand, I think, that's going to go around in first. He's a big fella, isn't he? Got loads of speed. Oh, that looked a really cool shot. There we go. There's the boys fighting it out. Just look at the size of that fella. Luke van Opsealand is a monster. And we got Jan Tak coming through. I think Sam Seals in the mix.
Okay, so
yeah, so the guys
MB
going around now.
is right
Finn
here
Hawkins on your screens,
in front of,
Colombo.
our village.
Sam Seals, he must have lost some ground
Must
there.
have. Something
So
happened because we saw Maciek Rotowski as well just round the mark ahead of that
they
group.
went left. They
Yeah.
went round the other side of the gate, went to the left-hand side. I did call that.
You did call it. You did call it. Yeah. Okay.
I'm
Fine.
trying to say anything, but you know, and look at the wind, it's picked up, so something happened. Wind probably picked up and there was a shift there, because there's a few guys that went round the other gate, didn't go to the right, and they have definitely lost ground, I would say, on the rest of the pack.
Still owe me a coffee though.
I'll have to take out a mortgage for a coffee up here in Switzerland.
It's true. €7 everyone for a coffee here in Switzerland.
It's pretty pricey.
Yeah.
But the top guys making it look easy. Well, I mean, these two. I mean, well, actually, look at Luke. He has got some devastating board speeds. He's a big fella, but
Amazing.
105 kilos.
105.
Yeah.
What a monster.
He's also 6'6" or something ridiculous.
Oh,
So
little touchdown from Tom. Tom Remney from Israel. Big Matty Barton just behind. But Nicholas Goya, Nico Goya already round. Van Opsealand comes round. So Goya's going to win it. I love to see the other places. The winner's got so far ahead, he's just cruising. The other guys are fighting tooth and nail for every inch right now. So Nicholas Goya wins it. Second place will be Luke van Opsealand. But this reach is so exciting because it's windy and it's a reach. There is just going off right now. So Luke van Opsealand in second place. Third place, Tom Remney. Then we've got Hugh van Tak from the Netherlands. Then we've got Matt Barton, fighting it out with France 53.
Clément Bourgeois, your favourite.
Bourgeois, and then Kurdell. Then we've got Andy Brown. So Andy Brown made up some ground. Colombo. Then Mardo Vrieswijk, France 16. Maciek Rakowski just coming round as well. Then we've got Sam Seals about to cross the line. France 10.
The freestyle corners.
And we've got Aruba 4, Ethan Vestra. Then we've got Steven van Broekhoven, ex-world champion freestyle. Then Lecoq from France.
Then
Ned
Castellane.
36. Max Castellane. I mean, he's doing well. Young Dutchie. Spain 4, Italy 60 just coming through. And then we've got a whole
Tom
group
Arnaud,
just coming through.
Another Frenchie.
Finn Hawkins, has he done enough to secure that top 12? I don't know.
So I think you're right. The left-hand side must have come through, and a group must have come from that side, because these guys were all doing quite well.
Yeah.
At the first bottom mark.
Yeah, somebody lost a bit of ground on that one. Oh, look at the
Nicola
pack now.
Rena is
Look
just
at
in front
the
of the
pack.
pack.
Just take 20 metres there. Oh, it's carnage.
And
Just trying to-
Matara Aquino in the middle of a pack there.
Oh my life. In 100 metres, you probably could have fit, what, 25?
HB, yeah, 25.
25 riders.
Easily 25.
Oh,
They're
man.
all coming in.
Hectic.
Sil Hoekstra having not such a great race. Sil, one of Kieran Badlow's training partners, only just back onto the iQFOiL.
Okay, well we will be wrapping up the racing soon. We'll leave you with this view, but I'm just going to say we won't have the final positions after today because racing will carry on after we go offline. We have to go now, we are being told, but the results will be online later. And I'm telling you, look out for 12th and 13th position. It's a big one. 4th and 5th as well. We do know that Nicholas Goya will be in the final. Luke van Opsealand will be in the final. I'm pretty sure those guys are top 2. Although we don't know the slalom, but I'm pretty sure Matt Barton has not done enough, but he will be, I would say, in the top 4. The rest of the places I wouldn't like, but Hugh Van Tack is going to have a bit of a fight as well for that 4th place. In the women, Helena Noisman definitely in that final, and then it looks like Watson should get that 2nd place, and Saskia Sills really close, but I think 3rd, 4th place probably up for grabs. Rashid from Israel was looking good. We'll check those later. So there we go. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. Tomorrow is the big one. 12 riders in the women's fleet, 12 riders in the men will go out, and it's winner takes all. All those results will not be counted. It will be that it's a knockout style format. So join us then.
See you then.
Oh, okay.